He'll raise to 1,200. Suited queen 9 for Mizrachi.
Quickly calls.
A couple of interesting starting hands here. And the flop comes 8, 10, 9, a pair of 9s for Mizrachi.
And a very interesting flop. Gives Howard an open-end straight. With a queen, he would make the absolute nuts. And Michael's got a pair and an inside straight draw.
Mizrachi checks. And Lederer bets 1,400. Mizrachi quickly calls.
And he does not want to make two pair here because his queen would give Howard a straight.
Well, they don't have to worry about it on the turn. It's a 4 of spades. Mizrachi quickly checks.
He still leads and Howard checks.
River's a 5 of spades.
No help for anybody. Michael realizes now he must have the best hand.
He bets 2,000. Howard ponders it and folds. Mizrachi takes down the pot.
And Howard got a free look at 2 cards by betting 1,400 on the flop. Excellent play by Howard Lederer.
Back to our feature table now. Greg Raymer and Daniel Negreanu. And as we mentioned earlier, Daniel is renowned for his ability to read other players. He told us earlier how he planned to attack his opponent's game today.
For my match with Raymer, I made sure to go to Josh Area and Eric Lindgren. And what we did was we practiced. Eric played me as though he felt Raymer would. And in turn, I played Eric pretending I was Huck Seed. I think I have a couple things going for me against Raymer. I think that there may be an intimidation factor. We've never played against each other. We haven't played much. One thing I know Raymer's going to try to do, and this is my approach, is I think he's going to try to play bigger pots with me. Because that's more of his style, getting it all in. I'm going to try to play what I call small ball. Just kind of jab a little bit, dodge bullets, and then wait for the big trap. I'm just going to try to set a trap for him. Hopefully he falls in and doesn't suck out.
Hopefully for Daniel, Greg didn't see this interview.
Boy, that's an interesting way to prepare, though. I mean, game planning with a practice squad, just like an NFL team.
It's hard for me to imagine Daniel Negreanu playing Huck Seed, though.
Raymer with 9-6 raises to 1,100. And Negreanu on suited queen 8 calls. Flop comes king queen 7, a pair of queens for Negreanu. He checks. Raymer checks. The turn brings a jack of clubs. Another quick check from Negreanu.
He's got Greg Raymer to bet here.
Raymer bets 1,500. Daniel calls. And the river brings a third queen for Negreanu.
And Daniel's not checking anymore. He bets 3,500. Greg Raymer has 9 high. But he's thinking about something here.
Oh, this is a straight bluff. Raised to 9,500.
Dude, what in the world is going on here? Cold-blooded right here.
Daniel thinks he's beat here. He can't imagine Greg raising unless Greg could beat his hand.
Got ace-10.
Remember the first hand when Daniel had a flush and Greg had a higher flush? Daniel had the same sick feeling that he has now. Only this time he's got the best hand.
Oh, well. That's another cooler if you got me.
Oh, he calls. He's going to love this.
All right, that's good news.
Good news indeed.
That was the other possibility. Phew.
I didn't give you credit for a queen for a
Right, obviously, yeah.
By checking on the flop, Daniel Negreanu won a big pot for himself.
Again?
Greg Raymer did not put him on 3 queens.
Coming up, a contrast in personality and style. The legendary statesman of poker goes head-to-head with a brash newcomer. Welcome back to the Las Vegas Strip and the National Heads Up Poker Championship. And inside the Caesars Poker Room, an intriguing matchup. Poker Hall of Famer Doyle Brunson is taking on bold newcomer Sean Sheiky Chacon, who finished 11th at the 2005 World Series of Poker main event. Doyle Brunson is, of course, quite possibly the most revered player of all time. Here's what some of his peers have to say about the game's esteemed statesman.
Without Doyle Brunson, this would have never happened.
I think Doyle's a better player now than he was 15 years ago.
The Godfather.
Godfather of poker.
In Doyle, I see a lot of myself.
Big bets, big bluffs, big hands. I mean, he just knows how to play the game.
Well, there you have it. 6 out of 7 players think Doyle is the greatest, and we have one tie.
And I'm sure Doyle will be flattered to hear that he reminds Phil Hellmuth of Phil Hellmuth.
Phil doesn't have to be in the tournament. He's still giving us laughs.
Sean Chacon with a 5-4 of spades raises to 1,200, and Brunson on Queen 8 calls. Flop comes Queen 10-7, a pair of queens for Brunson.
3 clubs out there. Sean's missed completely.
Brunson checks. Chacon bets 1,800.
Sean's not giving up so easy.
Brunson calls. The turn's a king of hearts. Brunson checks quickly again.
And Sean looks like he's going to fire another shot here.
He bets 3,000. Doyle calls.
Hold it. Take it.
Sean Chacon has just thrown his hand away and said no mas. Doesn't want any more.
I've seen enough.
Probably afraid to make a pair of 4s or a pair of 5s. Or maybe afraid that he might try to bluff on the river. That's very unusual.
Meanwhile, Phil Lack is taking on tournament veteran T.J. Cloutier. Lack's girlfriend, Oscar-nominated actress Jennifer Tilly, is looking on. She competed in the tournament and was eliminated in the first round.
She's not wearing that outfit that she wore in the first round either.
In her spectator garb. Cloutier on 10-7 calls, and Lack on King 6 checks. Flop comes 7-8-9.
TJ's flop pair of 7s and an open-end straight. And Phil Lack's got the bottom end of an open-end straight.
Lack checked and Cloutier bet 800. So Lack will call. Turn is a queen of diamonds.
No help for Phil Lack. TJ 7 still are the best hand. And Phil Lack is trying to represent that queen helped him. He's bet 2,000 here. And TJ's a cagey old veteran. He's going nowhere. He calls.
River cards a 6 of spades, and it gives TJ Cloutier a straight.
And that 6 kind of foiled Phil Lack's plans for this hand. I think he was going to try and bluff on the river also. TJ bet 6,500 here, and there's no way Phil Lack can call. He's not going to give TJ the satisfaction of throwing his hand away immediately.
Lack indeed folds. So TJ Cloutier takes down the pot.
I was just trying to dodge the straight, and then I bet it. I actually made 2 pair on the turn.
Oh, really?
He said he just made 2 pair on the turn?
Yeah.
I got to get these glasses checked.
Back to our feature table now, where Greg Raymer has a slight chip advantage over Daniel Negreanu. Oh, pocket aces for Daniel. He raises to 1,000, and via the Outback pocket cam, King 7 for Raymer.
Slightly loose call with the King 7 offsuit.
Oh, big flop for Raymer, trip 7s.
Wow, this could be a disaster for Daniel Negreanu.
Raymer checked quickly, and Negreanu bet 1,600.
If Greg would raise here, Daniel would call whatever he raised.
Instead, he calls.
He doesn't realize Daniel is so strong.
Jack of hearts on the turn.
Greg checks, try to trap Daniel. Daniel suspects something, he didn't bet.
Oh, big card on the river for Daniel. It gives him a full house.
And Greg Raymer's got a bet now.
Raymer bets 3,000.
I call.
What's that?
I call.
I got a little booyah hand.
Big pot. Daniel takes the lead.
Looked like it.
Good catch.
Daniel played that hand very well. He checked when he had the worst hand and got lucky and caught the ace on the river.
Aces full against 3 sevens. Made aces full on the river against 3 sevens. Pocket aces hit an ace on the river.
Daniel's trying to keep the hand quiet.
I got the lead now.
We saw it, Daniel.